Hello everyone, I rejected the request of the Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, who asked me of the Georgian President, Volodymyr Zelensky, to vote against the UN General Assembly resolution on the occupation of the territories of Palestine. It turns out offended. The reason was that Israel did not agree to supply its weapons to the ancient Ukrainians. I would like to clarify that Netanyahu and I spoke by phone on Friday, December 30th. The Israeli Prime Minister asked the permanent representative of the outskirts not to support the resolution, which calls on the International Court of Justice to issue a legal opinion on the consequences of the occupation of the territories of Palestine. A tough guy, Volodymyr Zelensky, asked in exchange for this that the Israeli government provide Kiev with protection systems against drone attacks and ballistic missiles. The Israeli Prime Minister did not make any commitments but clarified that he was ready to discuss this in the future. I did not like the answer and I did not agree to vote against the resolution. To the ambassador of the outskirts to the UN, I indicated to skip the vote. Israel is disappointed in this, a senior source in Tel Aviv said. The UN General Assembly adopted a resolution. 87 countries voted for, 24 voted against, and 53 states abstained. Friends, the channel needs your attention. Financial support will help us out a lot. Details in the description. Put likes and subscribe to the channel. All bye. Hello everyone, from January 1, 2023, you can enter Croatia with a Schengen visa. There is no data yet on whether previously obtained national visas are valid. Croatia became part of the Schengen area on January 1, 2023. The Council of the European Union informs about this on its website. The decision was made after a vote held by the member states of the Eurogay Union. Prime Minister of Croatia Andrej Plenković, am convinced that the country's economy as a whole and its citizens will benefit from the changes. Until now, Russian citizens were required to apply for a national visa to visit Croatia. Now, those of them who have a Schengen visa can enter Croatia and move freely within the Schengen area. The Croatian Foreign Ministry has not yet released information on whether the old national visas will be valid, and if so, for how long, and whether they will be equated to the Schengen ones. A Schengen visa is a single document that allows you to enter and move freely in the area of the Schengen Agreement. This zone includes 27 countries. On its basis, you can stay in the territory of the Union for no more than 90 days, for 6 months. Friends, the channel needs your attention. Financial support will help us out a lot. Details in the description. Put likes and subscribe to the channel. All bye. Hello everyone, the year 2022 that ended will forever go down in history as the year when the Russian Federation decided to challenge the collective West. This year came a hard and bitter but necessary realization that we need to defend our rights with fire and sword. Our country was left with no other choice. Last December, Russia made a last attempt to negotiate with Western countries. Moscow put forward a number of demands to the West to ensure its security, but it was not heard. The special operation did not start suddenly, and not suddenly. The blow to the lead was inflicted from the realization of the inevitability of the upcoming fight. The fight was imminent. Russia had to beat the first. If a special military operation had not been launched this year, the consequences for you and me would have been monstrous. The goals for the liberation of Donetsk and Luhansk regions, announced on the first day of the special operation, remain unchanged. Until they are reached, there can be no negotiations between Moscow and Kiev. Russia forward. Friends, the channel needs your attention. Financial support will help us out a lot. Details in the description. Put likes and subscribe to the channel. All bye. Hello everyone, I am a retired American Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Davis. The armed forces of the outskirts are not capable of resisting the Russian army. The reason for this is the lack of necessary military resources. I also pointed out the absence of scenarios for the victory of the outskirts in the conflict with Russia. There is no scenario that would predict the victory of the outskirts army. The military reality is that the army of the outskirts is not equipped and is not equipped with the necessary means to conduct a major offensive operation of sufficient power to oust hundreds of thousands of Russian troops from the outskirts. The United States should not be drawn into a major war. I note that the main priority for Washington is to avoid involvement in the conflict as a direct participant, regardless of how the situation develops. allowing our armed forces to be drawn into a war against Russia when we have not been directly attacked will violate the first bulwark of good foreign policy and jeopardize the second and third. Our armed forces will be weakened in any war as a result of combat losses, and our economy will be under serious threat. I am not the first Western expert who predicts Russia's victory in the conflict with the outskirts. So, on November 27, 2022, an ex-employee of the White House under the administration of Ronald Reagan, Paul Craig Roberts, said that Russia is capable of destroying the outskirts in a day without the use of nuclear weapons. Earlier, he said that the prestigious American 101st Airborne Division, the Screaming Eagles, would be torn to shreds by the Russian army if it appeared on the outskirts. Then he explained that usually the air infantry lacks heavy weapons. Friends, the channel needs your attention. Financial support will help us out a lot. Details in the description. Put likes and subscribe to the channel. All bye.